Thank you very much for having me here. I'm not going to talk so much about food, actually. I'm more going to talk about the environmental protection of Deutsche Bahn and how we will do it, and also how we communicate it. It's a bit of a challenge to be fourth in line and before of the coffee break. I hope I will still get a little bit of your attention. And I have a question for you before I want to start. How many of you believe that traveling by train is more environmental friendly than taking car or the airplane? Okay, it's not all the hands, but a lot of hands. And I have a second question. How many of you actually came by train? Okay, that's maybe half of you. So you're ahead of actually the market share what Deutsche Bahn has. So we have a market share of about around 20%. So there's a lot of potential concerning shifting from street and air to the railways. And also, what I have kind of a suggestion, what Julian said, we still have to look at ourselves and what we have to do and what we do with those events. Maybe it's compulsory for those events when we are talking about climate, to be climate neutral, that we maybe also have to talk about those kind of events, that it's compulsory to travel by train, or make a CO2 compensation if this is not possible. Have vegan food. We talked about vegan food as well yesterday, and how much impact it has on cutting CO2 emissions. So I think there's still a lot of improvement also for us at Deutsche Bahn. We're still working on when we have events, when is it possible to also have vegetarian food, when we have board meetings. We also already try to make it happen. So I brought you this slide. Long distance trains are already by now almost traveling with no emissions. It's because we are buying for the train travels and for the amount of electricity 100% renewable energies for the electric trains. This is often much criticized that, oh, we take away the electricity from the short distance trains or for the freight trains. But it's true that DB Energy, this is our purchaser for energy, is buying extra electricity for those travels. And as you saw, we already have the PPAs in our portfolio. It's not all PPAs, we have to admit, but parts of it we already have in the portfolio. And here you can see what you can personally do to reduce the CO2 emissions of your own footprint. And also, if you are a company transporting, you have already the possibility to reduce the CO2 emissions by 0, because we have a product which is called Eco Plus, which you can buy, and then the line you're choosing for your freight transport is going to be with 100% renewable energies. So you can cut also the 19 grams per tons and per kilometers. Now I have a little film.
The effects of climate change are already being felt today. To ensure the future of our planet for generations to come, we must act now. At Deutsche Bahn, we accept this responsibility. For the climate, for people, and for the economy. That is why we are turning not just our products green, but also the ways in which we work. This is embodied by Deutsche Bahn's green transformation. We focus on 5 areas of action: climate protection, nature conservation, resource protection, noise reduction, and social responsibility.
This film is going to last 9 minutes, so I just cut it here. If you're interested, you can see it on YouTube. And if I would let it go, I wouldn't have the possibility to talk anymore, so the time would be up. But here I want to show you what green transformation means for us. And for me, it's very important, and this is still what we need a little bit also to understand at Deutsche Bahn, that those fields of action like climate protection, nature conservation, resource protection, and noise reduction, and also social responsibility strongly belong together. If you don't do the one thing, you're not going to be successful in the other one. Like we heard today that soil is so important, and we heard also that biodiversity is so important. And if we don't cut the CO2 emissions, we will face another crisis, being the loss of biodiversity, and this will follow a lot of more what we can't imagine right now, I believe. So it should be together as a whole, and what we call the green transformation, that it's not only the products we have to look at, but also the way we are acting, the way we are working. You've seen many goals. We have goals as well, targets. Here at the first, because of the colleague from Bayer, also talked about herbicides, and I thought it was a true statement to say we have to look at the impact of the herbicides and not just of the reduction, because we have the same problem at Deutsche Bahn. We have to, for safety reasons, we have to get rid of the plants on our tracks. And at the moment, I have to admit that we don't have a solution for that, because if we use alternative methods like burning or electricity for the tracks, then we will destroy a lot of animals that are living on our tracks. So you always have to look, one action does what the one action you do has the effect on the other one. And I thought this was a good example to have the whole look around. In 2024, we want to have 33% would be a little bit less, 30% of management positions held by women. For me, as a woman, it should be a little bit more ambitious, actually. But in a company which is very much male-dominated as a tradition, it's probably a good target. In 2025, we also want 100% of renewable energy in our depots, office buildings, and stations. We already have a lot of stations with renewable energy, the big ones. We have a big step into 30, where we want to have the reduction of the specific CO2 emissions. We want to have all the trains with 100% of renewable energies in 2038. And that's the main goal, is to have a climate neutral company at 2040, and we just forwarded this target 10 years before it was 2050. And we want to have the noise reduction. So I will skip that. That's what we has achieved already. But the main, what I want to say here is that we already have over 150 projects and measures that are green, and we put these measures under a roof, which is called This is Green. And This is Green is supposed to act into the company, that the employees have the possibility to say, hey, I have a project, I have a measure that is environmental friendly. We check it with our criteria. Is it possible to put it under the roof? This is green. And this helps to have a identification and also to make the employees think about environment and to be as a part of the movement for the green transformation. I have another film, if it starts. Yes. So what stands behind This is Green is that we want to show also externally everywhere where something green is happening at Deutsche Bahn, we label it. So each of the projects gets a number for the identification for the inside, and then the labeling is happening. Like you just saw in the movie some projects which are labeled already, and here maybe you have seen it. Hopefully you've seen it already on the long distance passenger trains. Then this is an international example where we labeled a whole locomotive, and also with This is Green from DB Cargo. But also smaller things like that we have upcycling furniture, and also we use for these furniture, which are used in a new building at the Berlin main station. There is also ocean plastic, which is used for the cover. And to have a communication which has a effect on recognition, we have a multi-picture which we use in a lot of communications instruments. And this is our homepage in German and in English, where the strategy is, where you can see the strategy and the measures, and we are already having 161 measures which you can look at. And we also have an Instagram communication, should be, and also the films that you saw are on YouTube. Yeah, it should be funny. And this is the project I really like. These are German Romas. They are photographers and filmers which do animal photography. And they came to our projects with the border buffaloes or the primeval horses that we have on our areas. They are maintaining the biotopes. So when they're maintaining it, there's lots of plants and animals coming back on the area because they have a good habitat. And also on events, we use Das ist Grün. And this is the ITB in Berlin, like 2 years ago. And this is pretty new because we not only want to be too much restricted for the numbers and that you have a project, but you can also use the label "This is green" for campaigns. So we're turning Deutsche Bahn green, and I'm finished and before time.
Thank you, Stefanie.